Alright, so a lot of good things going on. You've got a nice long reach. So it's hard to untrain the breathing on the bilateral, right? You're going to bilateral breathing here. Your kick is pretty active. From a distance swimming standpoint, you probably want to kick less. There you go. Now you're breathing on the side. You've got a good long stroke, and your pull is technically proficient. You're doing kind of what we call a straight arm pull, which is the second best way to swim. So there's a lot of good stuff there. So this is one side breathing, concentrating on the exhalation, right? Getting a smooth, consistent exhalation. See how you feel after this. How do you... Alright, so doing another focusing on exhalation, just breathing on one side. And I said try and make it a little slower or leisurely swimming, right? So you're gliding a little more, you're not hurrying up with the pull. Because, right now, if you're working on the endurance aspect, you want to be able to swim continuously for extended periods. So, hopefully, swimming like this, although it is slower, you can go longer, right? And that's perfectly fine. And this looks good to me. Alright, so here you get a view of what your hips and legs are doing as you're swimming along. Is there any sort of excessive rotation? There's not excessive rotation. What's going on with you is that your hands sometimes reach right to the center line or right in front of your head. And so I had you focusing on just, very relaxed swimming here, working on the exhalation, which is kind of number one priority for you. A lot of your technique is good. But see how your right hand comes in and across? That's reaching in too close to the center. Alright, so just to address hand position at the start of the pull. How do you think about, reaching to 11 and 1, just so your hand's not reaching in front of your head. This is better. This is good, actually. The other thought is, that's good. You keep going, yeah. The other thought is that your hand is in a column that's centered on your shoulder, right? And hand doesn't break out of that column to the inside or to the outside. You don't want to be too wide, but you're not too wide. This is good. Good.
So I tried to over-exaggerate.
Alright, so you're doing a very good job on not reaching in. The right arm's starting to reach in a little bit. The right hand. That was better. That's good right there. Good. Good. Yeah, so this is a good drill for you to do. It's like, just hand placement and thinking about breathing, and then you work on your endurance. Alright, so here you're swimming with what we call a straight arm style of pulling, where your hand and forearm aren't going vertical early in the stroke, so we worked on that with one arm drill. You want to reach forward and then internally rotate or shrug your shoulder so that your hand and forearm can go vertical earlier in the stroke. The difference between the straight arm style and the early vertical forearm is that you start pulling in the proper direction more early. As far as,
endurance goes, right? Working up on the distance. Not kicking is going to be helpful to you. You know, getting this good breathing, the relaxed stroke, all that stuff is good, but kicking less is going to be helpful because you have a strong kick and it's a 6-beat kick. So what we talked about is using the pull buoy to basically stop yourself from kicking. But you notice how you still get a little bit of a kick, right? What happens when you stop kicking, a lot of times you'll either have just an easy 2-beat kick, which is where your right foot kicks down when your left arm extends forward and vice versa. And over time, you want to move to a stroke that's like that, where you just had that 2-beat kick. So this is swimming, trying not to kick. And you're doing it. So there's another sort of drill / technique thing you could work on. You say, okay, I'm just going to do this and I'm going to kick as little as possible. Because again, you know, right now the goal is being able to swim longer, unbroken, unassisted stuff, right? So anything that's going to help you do that is good. Now, when you do this, like your hand placement is going off, but that's why we only do one thing at a time. You work on the hand placement as one aspect, you work on not kicking as another aspect, and then work on the pull technique as another aspect. All right, one arm drill. Everybody's favorite, my favorite. So working on reach, roll, or scoop, catch the water, right? That looks pretty good. So for the first time you're doing this, very good. So from this angle, you know, what I want to see is the forearm goes vertical earlier in the stroke than not. And you're getting some of it, right? So some is better than none. You don't want to slip towards a elbow slip. That was good though. So if you first time doing this drill, you know, and trying to work on that, it's good. And then you can you'll switch arms going back. Yep. Good. 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 So they won't all be great, but as you work on this drill, some will be better than others. You know, you can visually watch what's going on with the hand. You can see like the pivot of your elbow, all that good stuff.
Here working on the early vertical forearm. So when you look at it from the side here, if you see any arc or rounding to the arm, that means you're getting some of it. The greater the arc or the bend viewed from the side, the better it is. That was a pretty good one right there. So you are getting some of it. You keep working on this. A lot of one-arm drill. Doing fists with paddle drill. I might not have shown you that, but we could work on that.